Totally fine. If you want to bob your head with me, it's con. Come on. It's good stuff. Welcome in. Once again, episode number 7 of the EPLAY Numbers Tell Your Story podcast. I am Jamie Horton, pleased to be with you once again. Bringing you yet another one as we kind of continue into moving into bringing you new, fresh content, getting some new faces, getting some new information out to you. This is an old face, a member of our team here at EPLAY. He's Brandon Dean is an NBA skills coach, skills trainer. He's also the director of player development for us here at EPLAY, and we have kind of introduced you guys to him before when we were talking about our EPLAY Combine, which is hopefully coming up here. I guess everything depends right now on this virus. So once we know a little bit more on that, but our goal is, within the next couple of months to be able to have something for you as far as the EPLAY Combine goes. But right now, we do want to talk about this very cool opportunity, very unique opportunity for all of you. It's the we got our combine. We got the NBA pre-draft combine. It's a virtual NBA pre-draft combine, and Brandon's going to talk to us about that today. First of all, Brandon, how you doing? How are things over there on the East Coast?
Well, we're good. We're good. I can tell you that even though with the virus, we're making the best of it. A lot of quality family time, which is something I don't get often with traveling and training. Gives me a chance to be with the family and cherish these times for sure.
Well, that's always good. Again, that's kind of been the theme for a lot of the folks I've visited with is the time you've gotten to spend with your family, and certainly the time you've gotten to reflect on some times you might have flaked on some people, and had a chance to apologize and be like, man, if we had a chance to do that right now, we'd definitely be doing that. But let's jump right into this, man. This is a really, really cool thing. Let's talk about this this virtual NBA pre-draft combine. Let's talk about this. First of all, where did this all come from? Where did the idea sort of derive?
Well, I've been doing NBA pre-draft camps for the past, 5-6 years. Been pretty successful. I've had over 38 guys actually sign contracts in the NBA. So it's been pretty good. But all of that has been in person. And now with, the virus and how everything are, guys aren't able to travel, and you're not really able to do as much in-person training. So, our idea is that even with the situation, the hand we're dealt, we still want to be able to prepare these guys for the NBA draft and, prepare them for when, they do get picked up by a team that they're ready to go. Because a lot of guys go into the league and they may have the talent, but they don't understand the system they could be playing in, or even what their role could be and how to play that role. That's what the pre-draft experience is. And I try to tell guys all the time, the regular training you may be doing with your trainer in the off season is completely different than what you would be doing for pre-draft training. Pre-draft training is geared towards preparing you for that next level, not just through your individual skills, but the mental side of it, the physical side of it. This is something that a lot of players need going into this next level.
Again, visiting with Brandon Dean, NBA skills trainer and director of player development for us here at EPLAY. Talking about this virtual NBA pre-draft combine. I'm going to talk to you a little about about some of your experiences with this before. Obviously, as an NBA skills trainer and being involved with things like this. Give me some of your previous experiences with these pre-draft combines in the process.
It's funny, I've dealt with different trainers, guys who are good friends of mine now, over the past years, Gannon Baker, Cody Topper, Nick Friedman, guys who have been in and out of coaching in the NBA. Cody's now in Memphis with Penny Hardaway, and I've, working alongside of them has been, one of the greatest experiences of my life. Just the knowledge you pick up each and every year from working with these guys, and from seeing, my first year we had, over 20 players to we've had years with, 5-6 players. So being able, to see how to deal with a big group of guys, the smaller group of guys, and even, last year, it was more one-on-one for me with Daniel Gafford. It's a unique experience that has helped me grow as a trainer. And, seeing the daily work that needs to be put in to help prepare these guys, that's what separates pre-draft training from any other training. This is something where you're looking at, a guy from what he did in college, and you basically have to, make a customized plan for him to get him ready for that next level, from his body to his IQ to, his actual game. These are things that, a lot of people don't understand, the work that, really needs to be put in over usually what is a 3-month span. Now with everything going on and, uncertainty as far as when the draft is, it's even, harder for, people like myself to, plan these things out because, we don't necessarily know how much time we have. But the good thing is that there's always a chance for you to improve and get better. So that's the main thing with this virtual pre-draft camp is, although you may not be able to get to a gym or you may not be able to go to your strength trainer, you're still going to be able to understand the mental side of the game so that when that time comes, you can go into an interview with an NBA GM or executive and be able to wow them because of your knowledge of the game and your knowledge of where you fit in.
Again, visiting with Brandon Dean, NBA skills trainer and director of player development for us at EPLAY here on the EPLAY Numbers Tell Your Story podcast, which, by the way, we do appreciate you guys listening and watching and checking us out. We've had some really great feedback in the last week or so. I know Brandon has seen a couple of our shows for sure. Mike James last week was a fantastic show. There is a little bit of a difference here, though, in terms of what this combine offers, Brandon. What sort of sets this combine, this virtual combine, apart from? I mean, obviously we have to play with the conditions and the hands that we're dealt with this virus and everything else. So it's that old mantra, adapt or die. So we're trying to adapt, and everybody else is trying to adapt around us. What sets this one apart from the other ones that you've been a part of, beside the obvious?
Yeah, obviously, like you're saying, the virtual part of it is huge. But the main thing is, and it actually has to do with the main reason that I'm part of ePlay, is we're taking the analytics and helping you explain, basically explaining to you what these analytics are saying. A lot of people, they hear analytics and like, oh no, the A word, I don't want to deal with it. I'm scared of it. What we're doing is we're giving you the insight to how it can help you, and for example, what I always do with every single player, and I've done it in the past with pre-draft, is, we develop a SWOT analysis, just like in business. I do it with my players, where we're going over your strengths, your weaknesses, opportunities, and your threats. But the difference with this is we're using the analytics to help you really see what your true strengths are and your true weaknesses are, and the opportunities you have as far as the threats and what can hurt you from getting to those, those points. And I think that's what separates what we're doing, over any pre-draft, in the country, is the people we have in place. Joseph Gill, I've become, really close with him over these past few months. He's worked NBA analytics, for years now with multiple clients. And it's funny, I was just on a call with him earlier, and, he was saying how the rest of his day is going to be spent talking to different players, different agents, to help try to bridge this gap between the analytics, and the eye test. And with our pre-draft, players are going to get to go into detail with Joe, and he's going to explain to you, okay, this is where your strengths are, this is where your weaknesses are. And then from there, that's where I come in, and I'm taking those strengths and weaknesses and figuring out how to make a customized plan for you so that when you go to work out, that you understand why you're working out on what you're working on. Instead of just going out there and you're doing, 100 different drills and you're not really getting great at anything. You're getting good at a lot of things, but the key is to get great at certain things, because, the reality of the NBA is it's a league full of specialists. You have your 3-point guy, you have your defenders, you have your playmakers, whatever it may be, you have to have a specialty going into this league. And without a full understanding of the analytics, it's tough to really understand where you fit in.
Again, Brandon Dean visiting with us here on the EPLAY Numbers Tell Your Story podcast, talking about the NBA, the virtual NBA pre-draft combine that EPLAY, Brandon Dean, and he's mentioned Joseph Gill are all a part of as well. How can folks get involved? Who's the target audience right now for something like this? And again, this is not just, obviously we've got this NBA pre-draft stuff, but we've also got the combine coming up, which I think is kind of a global audience. But sort of what is this geared toward? What player is this geared towards?
Mm-hmm. Well, ideally, this is for a guy who, either sees himself being, a second round guy, undrafted, even mid to late first round. This is for any player coming out of college entering the draft that would want to move up in the draft, because, at this point in time, and it may change, but right now, the most a team can do with you is an interview. And that's in 4 hours where you have to be able to wow these GMs and these executives. And if you have an understanding of where you stand right now and where you could be, and you're able to go in and, if we're playing for the Bulls, if you're speaking with the Bulls and you're able to go in and you're able to break down, the sets they run, the personnel, this and that, that's something that wows these GMs to think, okay, well, this guy really knows what he's talking about. He's done his homework, and that may help improve your draft stock. So any player looking to move up, and honestly, any player who's entered the name in the draft can benefit from this. I've worked with guys, that have been lottery picks, to guys who've been undrafted, and at the end of the day, going through this experience helps. It helps you prepare for the next level, whether that may be, you're going, first round, second round, you're getting picked up for summer league, whatever it may be, this is something that can benefit you.
So we're talking skills training that's built around essentially it's a completely customized plan, right? So it's completely customized with your daily evals, showing you an overall plan as well as sort of where your growth is, right? So your trajectory, your improvements, and everything else. So is that kind of, are we on the same page here, Brandon?
Yeah, exactly. Every day is, we do a daily evaluation of what you've done for that day. So a typical day, for someone who would be doing the virtual training would be, you're getting your skill work in the morning, then you might be getting performance training, you're doing film study, and then you go back, get your shooting in the afternoon, but every single day we're evaluating where you are currently and where you can be as we move forward. And that's the big thing with what we're doing is we're trying to help, especially in the times we're in right now with this virus. We're trying to help these players still be able to grow their game and grow their knowledge without actually, being in person to train or being in person to talk with one of these analytics guys.
And the hope is obviously the NBA draft is scheduled for. I mean, I have to go back and look. Do you know when the NBA draft is scheduled for?
Originally, it was June 25th.
Yeah.
But they actually just postponed the combine and the draft lottery. So, I mean, if I had to take a guess, it would be sometime in August. So it's still that same schedule as far as pre-draft. Pre-draft usually goes from mid-March until the first week of June. So we're thinking, it's probably around that same kind of time frame.
So where could folks go right now to get more information if they wanted to?
You can contact, myself directly, either, Instagram or, through bdean at eplay.us, or you can contact, EPLAY directly and visit our website. But for right now, I would tell, players, contact myself, just because, throughout this process, I'm the main one that you'd be dealing with. Whether, or, you can contact, I think our ePlay email, if I'm not mistaken, for pre-draft is predraft@eplay.us.
So pre-draft yes.
So you can contact us there as well. But, just know that, myself, I'll be the one you'll mainly be speaking with. And, throughout this whole entire process, I'm someone who likes to be very hands-on. So, you're going to deal with Joseph Gill. You're going to deal with, we have performance training. We have a nutritionist. We have recovery. We're a one-stop shop when it comes to pre-draft. But at the end of the day, we understand that, and as a former player, I don't want to be talking to, 10 different people. We want to have, we're a tight-knit group where we know what we're getting when we talk to an individual.
Again, it's pre-draft at eplay.us for more information. You can also hit up Brandon on his social media. It's Coach B. Dean, right?
Yep, Coach.B.Dean.
There you go, Coach.B.Dean. And I know you got an underscore on the Twitter handle, right?
Yes.
All right. So if you just type in Brandon Dean, by the way, I have no issues just searching Brandon Dean, and then of course I've you're in my mentions and stuff, so it goes right to you pretty easily. So yeah, Coach Brandon Dean. It's easy to find on Twitter. Go find him on Instagram as well.
I'm easy to find.
Also mentioned Joseph Gill. Joe Gill's been on here with us before, talking analytics and the application of them, et cetera, when it comes to player development. And he is also a big part of this as well. So he's our director of player assessment and analytics, with Brandon being the director of player development, also the NBA skills aspect of it as well. Who are some of the? Can you talk about some of those things? Can you talk about some of the players that have come through some of your developmental programs? Is that? Can you not? No.
I'm someone where, I'm very private. Maybe
sure.
I'm old school, but I like to let the work do the talking for itself.
How about this? It's without giving me specifics,
mm-hmm.
And regardless of the virus, pre-virus, were any of those players that have come through some of your skills trainers people that I used to see on TNT or watch on TV or any of that kind of stuff?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay, all right. Definitely. Anybody wear a Mavs uniform? No, I don't get. Okay, fine. You don't have to get too specific. I don't want to get you in trouble. No. Anything else you want to plug, man? Again, this is NBA. This is G League. This is NCAA stuff. We got affiliations with, I believe, the Drew League, the Women's National Basketball Players Association. A lot of big things happening through EPLAY, and certainly this being one of those. I guess you could say upcoming endeavor. It's going on right now. Again, pre-draft at eplay.us. You can register now, and space is limited. Where would be a good, is there I guess we can put them right to EPLAY, EPLAYbasketball.com. You can find more information there as well. But is there anything specific that you wanted to point people to, or something specific that we may or may not have already covered that you would want to put out there, Brandon?
The main thing is that, we understand, I know I understand for sure what it takes for pre-draft training, and I think there's a misconception on, what needs to be done during this process. And, we completely understand that, if you have your trainer that you've been dealing with for years and you feel comfortable with them, that's perfectly fine. But the analytical side of what we're doing is needed no matter who you're working with, and I also want you to understand that you may have this guy that you've worked with for years and years and years and helped you get to this point, but now you have to start look at yourself. You're your own brand, so this is something where if you're not doing what's necessary for this next level, you're going to get lost. You're going to get lost in the sauce. I tell guys all the time, all it takes is one bad workout, where you're not prepared, and that's millions of dollars you're losing, and that's millions of dollars to help take care of your family, so during this process, this pre-draft process, you need to put yourself in the best position possible, to build your brand.
And one of the things we've mentioned in the past is what we call maximize your hustle, right? So in this case, hustle has multiple meanings, right? Your hustle on the court, your hustle outside of the court, what you're doing when nobody's got eyeballs on you, but also that hustle when it comes to making that money. So if basketball is your hustle, maximize that hustle by getting out and hustling, right? So we're talking about your performance training, the skills development, every little thing, every little nook and cranny that you can find to help you improve your game and improve your knowledge of the game. And that's where I think EPLAY is a vital part of what we hope becomes the future of basketball, right? In terms of what we create as future basketball players that are driven by the ability to know and understand what their numbers mean, what their strengths and weaknesses are behind those, how to improve those, and then ultimately put the best products that they can out on the floor each and every time. Because as basketball fans too, selfishly, I want to see a good product. I want to see the best possible product I could see every time I go and watch a basketball game. Again, it's the go ahead.
I can tell you, Jamie, there's a lot of players that, maybe your favorite players in college, and then, come time for the NBA, they don't do well. And, a lot of it is, a lot of people are wondering why. And a lot of it has to do with this pre-draft process. A lot of players are going and they're just putting in work, but they're not putting in the right work. And it's a big jump, that a lot of guys can't handle, going from college to the NBA. And that's, where we're here to help.
Brandon, I appreciate your time once again for jumping on with us. Again, you can find out more information by going to eplaybasketball.com. If you want more information, go to predraft@eplay.us. Send any inquiries there. The email is predraft@eplay.us. Again, register right now. People are registering. Space is limited. Our man Brandon Dean, NBA skills coach and director of player development for us at ePlay, along with Joseph Gill, who's he's an NBA analytics consultant, but he's also with us as the director of player assessment and analytics here for us at ePlay. Again, it's the ePlay pre-draft combine, virtual combine featuring the strategic skills development programs, the film-based study, all ongoing pre-draft player advocacy, post-camp player report cards, resumes, all kinds of stuff available to you through this combine, this pre-draft combine.
Shop.
Yeah, it's a one-stop shop, and literally what we like to think maybe is a good launching pad for a lot of folks out there that are trying to, again, take that next step, go play and get a paycheck for playing basketball, which I think as at one point in all of our lives we thought, man, it would be fun to play a sport or a game of any kind, and somebody pays you for that. That's pretty sweet, man. All right. Make the stats, improve your worth, improve your game, improve your value, maximize your hustle. He is Brandon Dean. Again, let me throw some music on here, Brandon. It's more enjoyable that way. Let me see if I can get it to come on here. All right, we can hear that a little bit, right? There we go. That's kind of the closeout. That's the closer music right there. ePlay Numbers Tell Your Story podcast. One more time. What's your Twitter handle?
At Coach_BDean or Instagram Coach.BDean.
So we've almost forgotten our Twitter handle, Brandon. Is that I saw that.
I had to remember it. The underscore and the dot. I get confused.
You guys go follow us at ePlay Basketball as well on Twitter, on Instagram. I am ePlay Jamie on Twitter at ePlay Jamie. I also got some burner accounts that y'all don't need to worry about. That's where I go, and we all got them, right? We all got a burner account where we go and hide our identity so we can say ugly things on Twitter. I'm just kidding. Hey, we invite you guys back. Episode 8, just around the corner. BJ Johnson, long time in the NBA as a personnel scout for the Houston Rockets for nearly 3 decades. He'll be back with us this week as well. Brandon, thank you so much, my friend. ePlay Numbers Tell Your Story. Until next time, you guys all take care. Stay safe out there. Coronavirus is crazy. Be safe.